Okay, so back again. I got up early this morning. Today's Wednesday, January 23rd. After my 10-hour consecutive break to reset my hours of service, I got up here to the Cisco in Albuquerque, hoping to go ahead and get my load dropped off. But unfortunately, they rescheduled the unloading till 7:30 this evening. I called the shipping clerk, let him know I was here and why I was late getting here because of my issues yesterday with trying to scale my load out, and then having to drive from Phoenix through the mountains up to Flagstaff, doing 35 miles an hour, maybe 40, until I got to Flagstaff because I weighed out at 80,000 pounds. And so anyways, I shut down because I ran out of hours last night. I got up early and I got in here. Well, anyways, they've rescheduled the live unload till 7:30 this evening. And right now it's about 12 o'clock Mountain Time here in Albuquerque. They said I can check back at 3 o'clock and see if I might be able to get in earlier than the time. Once I get unloaded here, I'll have an empty trailer, and I got to drive 280 some miles north to a place called Des Moines, New Mexico. It's up near the Colorado-New Mexico state line off of I-25. Which that is going to be, let's see, it's going to be 5-6 hour drive to get up there. I have a live load scheduled tomorrow between 7 and 3, preferably sooner, because when I get that load loaded up, then I head down to Valdosta, Georgia, which will probably take me about 3 days, maybe 4, depending on if I run into any weather issues or anything. So, do you like my headset? This is the Blue Parrot, the BT350. And it's comfortable, foam earpiece. It has volume buttons up and down. It has your main power, so it's synced up Bluetooth, hands-free. So if anyone calls, I can go ahead. I can also sync it up to where I can receive music if I didn't want to listen to it in the truck. Or you can pair it up. Let's say you were training somebody in the truck, and you walked out to explain something while they're sitting in the truck in the driver's seat, or you're watching them back up. You can have it paired to their phone so they can hear you. I'm not sure what the range is on this yet. I just bought it today, but it's very comfortable. It's nice. So anyways, I just received a message on my Qualcomm wanting to find out, hey, I've been here at my final destination already for 2 hours. What's going on? Well, I talked to my driver manager this morning after I spoke to the shipping clerk and let her know what was going on. But then I had to type in a detailed message as to why I'm still sitting here. And I haven't been unloaded, or I forgot to do my macro to show that I'm done being unloaded. And now I'm ready to go to my next load. So I had to send that message over, and they just a few minutes ago responded back and said, okay, thanks for the update. So I don't know, they haven't said if they want me to sit here the whole time. Right now I'm on my hours of service. I've signed out into sleeper berth, so I'm off the clock. to try to save my hours. That was one of the things yesterday that when I was weighing out the truck, and it was a mistake that I made initially, and it's an important one. You learn from it. But when I first got this truck, it had a quarter tank of diesel. So I went over to the fuel aisle, and I filled up both tanks, not realizing that my first load was going to be almost 40,000 pounds. And you can only have 12,000 pounds on your steer axle, up front. Your second and third axle, which are your drive axles, you can only have 34,000 max. And on your trailer axle, your fourth and fifth axle back there, you can only have 34,000 pounds. So when I went to pull this truck out yesterday, I could tell it was really damn heavy. So I took it to the scale, and I futzed around, move the trailer forward, move it backwards, each hole position, trying to get the weight, move my fifth wheel, and then that really screwed me up. And each time you make a move and you drive onto the scale and they reweigh you, you've got to pull your truck back around, find a place to park, go inside, pay for the ticket again, the scale ticket, see what they weighed you at, make any adjustments again, drive back on the scale. And the whole time, this place, this Love's Truck Stop in Phoenix, was busy. Trucks coming this way, trucks going this way. Everybody's lined up for fuel, trying to get in, and it was like being in a traffic jam on the interstate. It would take 30 minutes each time for me to go around. So, or almost 30 minutes. So I ended up with, I really fucked myself on that one. It was about eight scale tickets before I finally got it correct. And luckily I remembered where I started at and got everything reset and took another look at it and made one adjustment in the opposite direction that I should have done the first time. And it got me right there. And then driving from Phoenix all the way up to Flagstaff, doing 30, 35, 40 miles an hour most of the time with the hazards on, until I got out of the mountains. And then I got on I-40 heading eastbound, and that was kind of hilly, but that was fine. It wasn't climbing big mountains. So that really screwed my hours up yesterday. That's why I wasn't able to make my load last night. And as long as I keep in touch with my driver manager, let her know what's going on. They want to make sure that you're safe. If you feel unsafe, something's happening, then you pull over. You pull over and park. You're the one who's driving, not them. Now, granted, it's going to be a service failure on me. But I think they'll probably give me a break because it's my first load heading out. But it's a big learning thing, and there's going to be several more of those as the days and weeks and months progress, as I do things. I learned a lot from my mentor. He was a really good guy. Aaron, thumbs up, buddy. You did an awesome job. I know you were probably getting fed up with me a little bit, or seemed like I jinxed our truck because of all the problems we were having. So, but you did an awesome job, and I learned a lot from you, and some things I'm going to find out on my own, and that's going to be anybody. But it felt good getting out on the road, though, finally moving. finally moving. And I'll let you know, every year, January, February time, there's not a whole lot of loads that are moving in the southwest. You may see 18-wheelers going up and down the road, but there's not a whole lot of loads going out places because a lot of these manufacturers and vendors and all are doing inventory after the first of the year, scaling things down. So there's not a lot of loads going anywhere. And yes, it was frustrating sitting for 4 days with a truck, not able to go anywhere. They did try to send me a few loads. One was leave the yard and go a mile down the road, pick up a load, bring it back to the yard, and then 24 hours later take that load back and drop it off. Makes no damn sense to me, but anyways, if I would have done that, my PTA, which is my personal time or projected time available when I'm available for my next load, my PTA then would have been reset, and I would be sitting at the bottom of the list of the other 40 drivers that I was at the top of the list waiting for a load because I've been sitting the longest. So finally they ended up getting me a stack load. So I got this one for Albuquerque, and then the next one I'll jump up, get loaded up in northern New Mexico, and then head on down to Valdosta and make that drop off. And hopefully they'll have me another load set up to go from Valdosta to Atlanta so I can do my home time for 2 or 3 days before I go back next week. And then they want to do a meet and greet, meet the driver leaders, the driver managers, terminal manager, and then they'll get me set up going loads. So, but right now here I sit till 3 o'clock, and hopefully they'll get me in early enough, then 7:30, and I might be able to then start making my way up to northern New Mexico. So anyways, just to give you a little update, I'm going on 13 minutes now. The weather's beautiful out here. Sunny. It's a little breezy, but it's nice. It was 30 degrees this morning, and actually when I left the truck stop, it was 18 degrees. So anyways, y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you later.